Hey everybody, it's your boy Big James, the Big Eye himself, and we are back for another review of Married at First Sight. This is going to be season 13, episode 11. I think the episode was called Caution Feelings Approaching. That sounds ridiculous, but that's probably what it was called. I didn't take good notes. I was not paying very much attention, so this might be a pretty short episode. I'm gonna try to hit the big stuff. I might miss some things, but I'm trying to hit the big things because there were a lot of big things, and there was a lot of shit that just didn't matter. As always, we're gonna start out with our first couple. I'm gonna go couple by couple, not scene by scene. I think couple by couple is easier to keep track of. It's easier to talk about. It's easier, just easier. First couple is Jose and Rachel. Uh, I don't even know why Rachel is fucking with Jose. Jose and his butthole mouth. Why he cuts his beard and mustache to a booty hole around his lips, I'll never know. It looks so distracting. He must have just got a fresh lineup because it looked crisp. It was crisp booty mouth with him. You know, she is looking basically for him to apologize. She's like, oh, I'm not done with you yet. I don't know why she's not done with him yet. He didn't apologize. He doesn't want to apologize. He fucking refuses to. He wants to talk around it like, okay, that happened. Let's move on. She is like, no, I'm not moving on. And he gets upset because she keeps talking about it. He's like, but that's all right. But it's over with. Why do you keep talking about it? Because there was a big fucking deal. And it happened. And she has the right to talk about it if she wants to. Because you flipped the fuck out. And she tells him, like, you know, who are you? Are you the man that I know, or is that who you are? Rachel, that's who he is. He is back and forth. He's hot and he's cold. He's probably mostly hot. He seems like he gets agitated very easily, and he's probably hard to deal with. He was talking out his ass. He was talking so hard around an apology. It was like, dude, just apologize. That's the least you can do. Because you know you were wrong. That's the problem. He doesn't accept that he was wrong. He believes he was right. And he wasn't. And she eventually got a half-assed apology out of him while they were talking. I think they were talking over dinner or something. They had met somewhere at some outdoor restaurant or something to talk. And she coaxed a half-assed apology, and she accepted. I'm like, no. If I had to work that goddamn hard to get you to apologize to me, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. That should have led off with him apologizing. It should not have been her having to work that hard to get him to say, I'm sorry. And he didn't even say, I'm sorry. He just said, I'm sorry that happened. Not that he's sorry for what he did. It's going to happen again and again and again. And he was getting mad and raising his voice at her because she wanted an apology. Because she kept talking about it. That's who he is, Rachel. He blows up. He can't handle any kind of pushback. He can't handle the slightest feeling of disrespect, even if it's only in his head. Where there is no disrespect happening, it's only in his fucking mind. It ain't worth it. The couples are all celebrating their 1 month anniversary, and he sets up a date with her. I don't know why she's fucking with him. He sets up a date with her at a baseball field because he knows she likes baseball. She said it in the first episode. She really loves baseball games. She doesn't understand anything about it, but she likes going. So they're at the baseball field. He has like a picnic set up. Then it's very romantic and very thoughtful. He was thinking of her when he did it. He drives the biggest goddamn truck. It looks like a Silverado 2500, big truck. And I didn't realize how short he was until I saw him getting out of that truck. I'm like, why you got this big ass vehicle? You're so short. I never noticed how short he was. He's about the same height as Rachel. I think Rachel's actually kind of taller than him. I hope he doesn't have a little man syndrome. That might be it. I've never talked about it before. I never noticed that he was short until he got out of this big ass truck. And I was like, you're a small little man. But that was sweet. But again, Rachel kept talking about, hey, That's the problem. You yelling at me, calling me out my name, locking me out. It's an issue, and he can't handle it because he fucked up at the dinner thing for the anniversary. He said that joint accounts is pretty cool. We don't have to do the big account. And Rachel was like, "That's what I've been saying this whole time." He was like, "Oh, I just wasn't listening to you." And he said it like it's no big deal. Like, Rachel, come on. He just admitted, yeah, I don't listen to shit you say. I wasn't listening to you. And she's been saying the whole time that separate accounts is fine. You can have separate accounts. I have my own, you have my own, and the house has one. That's fine. You want to do it like that? That's cool. Especially with both people are working. That's probably the best way to go. Is to have separate accounts and then one joint account for the house. And even with separate accounts, you still have to talk to each other about spending. But you don't have to worry about small bullshit. I don't know why Rachel is fucking with this dude. It baffles me. But that's it. Jose, his booty mouth, should be gone. He should be off the show. And Rachel, I don't know what issues she got going on, why she's putting up with it. She shouldn't. But, whatever. Next couple is Mirla and Gil. Mirla and Gil are proving me wrong every episode. They are, by and large, the best couple this season. They did not start out the best couple, but they have become the best couple. And Mirla she's won me over because she is doing fantastic. Her approach to it I always liked her approach. I never liked her attitude, and I still kind of don't. But it works. It pairs well with Gil's. Gil's demeanor and her demeanor, they pair well together. I would have never figured that out. I'd have never guessed that. And I like that. I just talk about them. For the 1 month anniversary, Gil had a date set up for her at a winery because Mirla has said she always wants to go to a winery, and she has macaroons. She loves macaroons. He sets up a wonderful looking date because she said she always wanted to go, but not only did he take her, he had them a picnic, he had the macaroons, he had a wine tasting. That was beyond what she wanted. And she was like, he did a very good job. He got her something that was fantastic, and it was all about her. He thought of her. And she was just giddy and smiling happy. She loved her some Gil. That's not me saying that. That's her saying that. She has no problem saying that she loves him because she says, I choose to love him. Which I thought was just great. They go salsa dancing with Zach and Michaela. That turned into a whole ordeal. I'll get into that with Zach and Michaela's later. But Mirla was very open. She loved dancing with Gil. She wanted to dance with Gil. Gil said, he's done it before, but he's not like an expert or anything like that, but he has salsa dance before. Mirla said she hasn't, but she has rhythm. I like their conversation. I like their talking. It seems like they're picking, but they're not. It's flirty. I hope that makes sense. It's flirty. It's not angry or vindictive or like a put down. They're just being cute with one another. And they're both picking up on that. How he said, he did before. She's like, I never saw that before, but I got rhythm. He's like, you got rhythm. They're going like a whole thing back and forth. And it's just cute to watch. And Gil confronts Michaela over what she does. I'll get into what she does later. And I like Gil here because throughout the whole episode and throughout the past episode, Gil's never been afraid to talk. Gil loves to talk. He loves to gossip. He loves to hear what's going on. And he's attentive. And probably because he's a firefighter or something like that, but he's very attentive to things. And he picks up on details and small things. And he voices his thoughts on opinions on them. That's one thing I like about Gil. That I do like about Gil. Later on, Mirla has like an evening plan for Gil where it's like romantic. I forgot what she did. I think it started out as her thing and turned into something he was doing for her. Her thing started out, she had candles lit up and roses and everything when he would come to the room. I think they had champagne, but he was talking about somebody got candles out trying to be romantic or burn the place down. Because she had candles on the floor lining the walls. And I was looking at it, I was watching it myself. I'm like, that's dangerous as hell. You can set the walls on fire. And then she had those rose petals. I'm like, all this is flammable. Why would you do this? And Gil was like, trying to burn the place down? And she was like, oh, you're a firefighter. I completely forgot. Shit. And he gave her the shirts that had, her shirt said, I am everything. And his shirt said, I have everything I need. And her shirt is everything. That was cute. She loved it. She was giddy. So I think it started out as something for her. And it ended up with him doing something. No, it started out with she wanted something for him. And it ended up with him still doing stuff for her. So she loved that absolutely. She was just like, it's all about her and she likes it. And I appreciate Gil. He figured that out. Like, she wants it to be about her, and he doesn't mind. He is learning her very well. She doesn't learn that much about him because she forgot he was a firefighter. But it's cute and it's adorable to just watch them. And it wasn't that way. It was not that way at first. I still question whether or not they'll make it as a couple. I do, but they're doing a lot better than I would have initially said. Because I never had a problem with Mirla spending or the way she was. I had a problem with I personally, I don't think I could be friends with her. But that's just me. I'm not as patient. I'm patient, but I'm not as patient as Gil is. And I'm not talking about being in a relationship. I'm talking about just being friends. She's too wishy-washy. She seems like a downer. And Gil seems like he's the life of the party. So that's why I always thought the conflict was not in money or anything like that, but just like personality types. And I still think that's an issue. She doesn't want to do anything and Gil wants to do everything. She doesn't like mingling and Gil loves mingling. But they go to the but no, they flash to 2 hours after they had the great time with the gifts. They go 2 hours later, and I said, Jesus Christ, something happened. Because they did the 2 hours later, and I was like, oh no, it was on a happy note. It's finna go to a bad note with Mirla and Gil. Nope, it went to a stupid note with Mirla and Gil because another package for her came that Gil had got for her. And Gil been ordering Mirla a lot of shit. I have noticed that. For someone who people say he's broke, he's been getting her a lot of stuff. There's packages showing up every day for shit for Mirla. And I don't think she's getting him anything. She got him some cookies. So, but it was she said she's not going to walk hype without something to pick up the poop. Because she's not going to pick it up with her hands. So he got her like some kind of fancy super duper high dollar ass pooper scooper. And she was like, she don't like the color, so she's not going to use it. So Gil laughed it off. I thought it was funny. I just thought it wasn't anything bad. That shocked me out. It was just them being goofy and silly. They're doing very well together. Next couple is Michaela and Zach. They're not doing so well. They're pretending they're doing well, but then they're not doing a good job of pretending they're doing well. They go salsa dancing with Girla and Mill. With I got that backwards as hell. Mirla and Gil. And Michaela, to her credit, she was in the car with Zach saying, I'm not finna dance. She said, I'm gonna watch y'all dance, but not me. You keep saying what we're gonna do. Ain't no we, it's what you and them gonna do. I will give her that. To her credit, she was saying on the way there, she didn't want to dance. So, why she agreed to go salsa dancing, I don't know. She knew what it entailed. She knew what it was about. If you don't want to do it, don't go. She didn't do that. She got dressed up looking nice, had her makeup on, had her hair did. She went to not participate, apparently. But she did participate. They went over the basic steps where you're dancing along on how to do it. She did all of that. He said, okay, now give it your partner. She went and sat down. And Zach had to dance with the instructor. That was fucked up to me. Granted, she said she didn't want to dance, but why would you go, one, and why would you learn the steps, two, to not do them with your husband? What was the point of you learning the steps if you're not going to do them? If she would have sat down the whole time, well, she never learned the steps. She never did the whole first part, and was like, that way you wouldn't have expected her to do the dance with Zach. She did everything else but dance with him. I don't know how he felt, but I know how I would have felt. And I know how Gil felt, because Gil said how he felt. And how he would have felt if it would have happened to him. How he said how he felt just watching it happen to Zach. It was messed up. It really was. Like, Gil told her, like, you didn't even try. He wants to know why you didn't even try. And she was like, I did try. He was like, no, you didn't try to dance with him. You did the basic steps. Once it got to, okay, now do the steps with your partner, you sat down. So you didn't try. And Michaela, I didn't like her answer. But I did like her answer. She basically said she doesn't want to do it. She doesn't want to put in effort because Zach's not putting in effort. Because he had told her, I guess the day before, that he didn't feel like they were going anywhere, or he didn't see a future between them. And she was like, well, if you don't see a future between us, what the fuck am I even doing? I agree with her on that. If you're not trying, if you don't see anything, I'm not going to try either. That's cool. She said that. But that's not the answer she gave. She said, I just don't want her. She said, I just don't want her. You could have said that I just don't want to dance with him, right? It could have been anything, but I don't want to. That sounds childish and ghetto. You could have just said, we're going through some shit right now, and I don't want to dance with him. But you just said, I don't want it with no backup and explanation. Gil had to keep pressing her to get more information out. And then after that, he said, I understand. Because if you would have just, I guess she probably didn't want to talk about it. And she said she didn't want to talk about it. But I think Gil was like, this is the kind of shitty thing he just did to Zach. And Zach didn't say anything. I don't know why Zach didn't say anything, but I guess because he knew how she was feeling. Because he didn't know what the problem was until Gil got it out of Michaela. And he told Zach he was right. Because Zach said, yeah, I don't see a future between them, but that don't mean I won't see one tomorrow. It's not over. We're still trying. We're still going. And Gil was like, he's not wrong for that. He's still working on it to see a future. Even if he doesn't see one now, he's still hopeful and optimistic. Zach's not wrong. And Michaela's not wrong for saying, like, you know what, if you're not trying, I'm not going to try. And I don't want to pretend like we're doing good and we're not doing good. That's fine. You're both in the right. You're both right. But it shouldn't take Gil to pull that out of those two. Where are the fucking experts? Why is Gil the one pulling information out of people? They should have been open to saying that. But they weren't. For the 1 month anniversary, Michaela rents a studio for Zach. Because he plays piano, he does music, so he could make music in a studio. That was great. She knew what he liked. She knew what his hobbies were, what he was into. And, he had a great time. He was just smiling and happy. And she was so happy to see him happy. Because she said, I wanted to bring the old Zach back. I wanted to see happy Zach. And Zach was a giggling fucking idiot in that studio. He was very happy. And then after that, Zach wants to give her his gift. A think it was Zach's gift. He wanted to give her his gift, which was a honeymoon. Because remember, he got COVID and they couldn't do the honeymoon. So he takes her to a hotel. They get the honeymoon suite. He has the flowers laid out. And she says the shit about, the first time she never got to see him because he just threw her on the bed. And he said, well, this time I'm going to do it now. But she said, well, just put me down. Don't just throw me. And he was like, you're lighter. She's like, what you mean I'm lighter? She's like, well, you're not wearing that heavy ass dress. I believe they got busy in the bed because around 1 o'clock in the morning or whatever time they had to go get something to eat. They was dehydrated. They had lost all their energy knocking boots. So they went and got some food. I don't see any future with these two. All the thing they have in common, they really like having sex with each other. And they just go between fighting and fucking, which never works out. I've seen enough Jerry Springer to know that doesn't work out. But, hey, what can you say? Next couple is Johnny and Bao. For their 1 month anniversary, they go skydiving. It was on Bao's bucket list. So Johnny's doing it for her. He's enjoying it too. They're going out. They skydive. It looks great. They look like they're having a great time. Later on, after skydiving, they go out to eat. And they're talking. And Johnny is telling Bao about what he feels and what he wants. And Johnny basically saying that, he's not fit. He is saying, I want Bao to do everything. And Bao is saying, I don't want to do everything. They come home, but Johnny says, we get up, we go to work, we come home, we have sex, and we repeat it every day. He said he wants to build up to it. He wants to get text messages, he wants to get phone calls, he wants to get everything to build up so that when he gets home, he's turned on, he's excited, he wants to have sex. And that's not what's happening. They're just going through their day. He's doing what he's doing, she's doing what she's doing, and then they get home and they have sex. He's like, that's not what I want. I want something more. I want it more than that. I want to do stuff together to make me want you. And Bao is like, okay, so do something. Send me a dick pic. Send me a nasty text. Touch me. Do something. She's like, but Johnny was like, I want you to do it. Let me see them titties while you're at work. Send me a nasty message. Come over here and just, sit on my face. Put your face in my crotch, Get me turned on. And Bao is like, she doesn't want to do that. She doesn't want to be the only one doing sexual stuff. And Johnny is like, I don't want to do it at all. Bao doesn't mind doing it. She doesn't want to be the only person doing it. She doesn't want to initiate all the time, every time. She's looking for Johnny to basically start off something. If he wants it to be freaky, start the freaky. But Johnny, like, all the way back in the beginning, he said that, he doesn't want to initiate. He doesn't like to. He likes for the woman to initiate. That way he feels safe. He's not risking anything. He's not risking rejection. He's not risking getting turned down. And he likes it like that. He wants it like that. He wants to be on the receiving end of everything. That way he's not putting in any effort, so he's not losing anything. And that's not good enough for Bao. That's not really good enough at all, period. Not even for Bao. I don't think any woman would like that. How you never flirt with me, you never do anything, you never touch me. He ain't never smacked her ass, put his arms around her. And Bao was like, I want to be the little spoon. Why am I always the big spoon? He doesn't even want to cuddle with her. He wants her to initiate the cuddling. Like, how are you, like, that's crazy. That's crazy to me. So I don't think Bao's wrong. I think Johnny is delusional. That doesn't make sense to me. He's been watching way too much hentai. Because what he's describing is what happens in hentai. If you've never seen hentai before, I have. I've watched a lot of it. Let me describe every hentai scenario. There's always this guy, this loser guy, who gets up, goes to work, whatever. He gets with this girl who's extremely hot, and all she does is cook for him, cater him, and have sex with him. Freaky, wild, ridiculous sex. He never initiates. Every hentai, the guy never initiates. The woman always initiates. She's always either wearing just an apron or just naked. Whenever he comes home, she gives him his food and she goes down on him. He wakes up in the morning, she's going to town on him. When he's in the shower, they have sex 12 times a day. He's like, oh God, I guess I gotta do it again. What Johnny is describing is your textbook hentai, where the girl does everything and the guy does nothing. And they're together. That's how hentais work. So when he's saying that, I understand what he wants, but he doesn't recognize that's not real. At all. Like, at all. But it's what he wants. That's what hentai is. I'm telling you that's what hentai, I'm telling you. That's what it is. That's all it is. Just an average dude that's just banging a super hot girl all the time. She's always cooking. She's always cleaning behind him. She's always naked. Anything he does, she's servicing him. It doesn't matter. She serves him so much he gets tired of it. He does nothing. He doesn't have to flirt, doesn't have to get her gifts, doesn't have to do anything. Just breathe. And she's just going at it. That's what he wants. While they're talking, Bao is like, she's being gay, like, touch me, do this stuff. Because he's complaining, but this is what I want. She was like, well, do it. You initiate it. And Johnny gets turned off. He's like, oh, she's acting like a kid. She's not listening to me. No, you sound like a fucking idiot. And what is her being happy and excited? How does that bother? How does that make you unhappy? They talk to their friends, and Johnny talks to his friend. I think her name was Kim. And Bao talks to her friend. And I don't think Johnny's talk went as good as he wanted it to, because his friend was a woman, kind of agreed with Bao. Like, you should initiate stuff. You should do stuff. It's not just on her. And Johnny was like mad because Bao takes activities serious, and he wants to just be enjoying the moment. He wants to look at the process, and Bao focuses on the end goal. Don't do activities together. I can't say anything else about that. That's not a deal breaker. It's just a way of approaching problems. So that's not it. It's not a bad thing, but we just shouldn't do stuff together. It's like people who play spades. People play for fun, and some people play for dead ass serious. How do you fix it? We don't play spades. We'll get to the dinner later. Next couple is Brett and Ryan. Brett's dog, Baxter, is throwing up everywhere, and they find out that she takes us to the vet. The vet says he has total kidney failure. Baxter is dying. A slow and painful death with kidney failure. So Brett has to put Baxter to sleep. So R.I.P. Baxter. And Brett's kind of half in, half out of it the whole episode. She's going through something, and Ryan, he's sensitive about it. He's like, I had to put a dog down too 3 years ago, and it took a while for me to get over it. Or I forgot how many years ago. He said it took him about 3 years to get over it. So he understands that he's trying to be respectful of her, and not push it, not because he doesn't want her to break down and be sad. So kudos to Ryan on that. But he is being there for her. For their 1 month anniversary, Ryan gets a movie theater. He gets a dinner theater movie thing. A dine-in movie theater. He gets I think that's what they call a dine-in theater. And he has like the food and everything right there. And they're just talking, and on the thing they're displaying they're showing their wedding. That's what they're watching in the theater. They're watching their wedding. And Ryan says that he is not as enthusiastic about this now as he was then. Ryan is pretty much done with the whole experiment. He's not into Brett, and he's given up on seeing himself being into Brett. But he's not an asshole. He understands what's going on, so he is being respectful. He is like, he's not mistreating her or doing her wrong or anything. But being true to himself, he is not into it. He's kind of done. And that's about it. And Brett, she sees it. She is aware that, Brian's kind of checked out. He doesn't want this. And Brett, I keep saying the wrong names. Brett is at the point where she is like, well, now she wants sex. She's like, I'm horny because she's like, Ryan is such a good guy. I think the time for sex is over. I think it's past. And I really do think that's what was missing with them, was just intimacy. I think if she would have slept with him earlier, he would be more invested into it. Right now, he looks at her as somebody that, just a friend. He doesn't even want to sleep with her anymore at this point. He's past it. It's just, the way he's treating her, she appreciates it. But the way he's treating her, she also is like, this is bullshit. Because he's done. He's just going through the motions and just being a good person. And simultaneously being a shitty person. I have no idea what she did for him. I don't think she did anything. If she did, I don't remember it. They all get together. All the couples get together for a dinner at the end to celebrate, 1 month of doing this. And they're all talking about something. Gil is leading the talk. He's going around the table like, what have you learned about your partner and all of that. And I think Gil and Miralus was the most memorable, and Bao and Johnny. But I don't remember what anybody else said. But Gil and Mirla and Johnny and Bao. And Mirla basically said, I choose to love this man. And Gil was like, I like what Gil said. Gil said, young Gil, young me, I wouldn't have put up with Mirla. But old me appreciates her and her methods and her ways a lot. And by doing it her way, they've gotten very close together. He could see himself falling in love with Mirla. And Mirla was like, I love Gil. She said, I have chosen to love this man because of everything that he is and how he is to her. She appreciates how he is and how he treats her and the type of man that he is. And Gil says that, they have different approaches, but they have the same goal. That's how it's working. We have the same thing. We want the same thing in the end. So we're approaching it differently, but we're going to the same place. And that's why it's working. Because they did this for the right reason. They both wanted to be married, and they wanted to be with somebody that they loved. And they're getting to that point. They're going in different ways. They're getting there. And I thought that was wonderful and beautiful and very well spoken. Because he didn't say I love her. He said I like her a lot, and I'm growing. I can feel myself growing to love her. And she was just like, I love him. And before she wasn't like that, but she just like, except I believe she's liked him a long time. I believe she's been into Gil for a very, very long time. And now she's kissing him all the time. The first time I noticed that she liked Gil a lot was when he pulled up on her in that fire truck and she was eating brunch or whatever. And how she got up and she ran to that truck and had to stop herself from kissing him then. She was so happy to see him, so excited to see him, everything. I think that she's been liking him really since then. I think she's liked him since the honeymoon. Because she was doing a lot. During that honeymoon, she was poking and prodding, and he didn't go nowhere. Not only did he not go nowhere, he was giving as good as he was taking. I think during the honeymoon, she realized what he was. And that this was the type of man that can work with me. Because she's not running them off. And Johnny and Bao, Bao says she feels like she is doing everything. She said it's at dinner in front of all the couples. She feels like she's putting in all the work, putting in all the effort. She's initiating everything. She's cooking all these gourmet dinners. Johnny's not trying. He's not doing anything. And Johnny is sitting there getting pissed. Because he's like, that's all bullshit. Bao has cooked. He said it. And that's all I can remember. He said Bao has only cooked one time. No, because she's talking to her friend. She said she only cooked one time. She wants to cook more often. But she doesn't. She can't find the time. Because she's doing other stuff for Johnny. And so Johnny, he got it dead to rights on that. She lied through her fucking teeth right there. Johnny, you got her. He didn't say anything. But he had her. He was like, she not, the stuff she's saying she's doing, she's not doing. But she's saying it in front of these other people to make her look good and me look bad. And that pissed Johnny off. So Johnny gets up and he leaves. They're like, oh, Johnny, it's okay. Come on. He just like, and Johnny tells him, he said, I want to talk about it, but not here. We'll talk about it in private. And everybody's like, that's cool. Because it is. But Johnny got up. He left, he didn't want to talk about it. Our next couple, Johnny and Jose. When Johnny leaves, Jose goes after him, damsel in distress. He's there. He keeps going after Johnny, because Johnny is distressed. His feelings are hurt. And, he has to check on him, see how he's doing, look out for him. And Johnny just venting about how, Bao is lying, making him look bad. He can't stand it. She doesn't care. It's manipulative. It's deceptive. But the only thing she lied about, as far as I can tell, was the cooking. Everything else was dead on. Maybe, I can't think of anything else that's wrong. Because Johnny admits he doesn't want to initiate. Bao has to. And Bao doesn't want to do that. She doesn't want to do it all the time. Jose is trying to comfort him, tell him, it's okay, we don't need these hoes, we got each other. And Johnny is outside just bitching, griping, complaining, upset, visibly upset, hurt. Bao comes out, he doesn't want to talk to Bao, just like, oh, no, I'm here with my man. And I don't know, he's just like, what do I do now? Where do I go from here? Because he doesn't want to be with her anymore because he feels like she's manipulative, but he's manipulative. And he's just not listening to her. From what I can tell, he doesn't give a fuck about what Bao likes or wants. He doesn't think about her feelings at all. He's thinking about what he thinks a marriage should be, and I don't think he cares what she thinks a marriage should be. I can't remember him even asking her what does she expected. Because she's been very upfront. She's like, I will do anything you want. But Johnny's like, well, I don't want anything. I want you to tell me what to do. Most men would kill for a woman like Bao that says, I would do anything you want. I'm up for whatever. I'm willing to do it all. And Johnny's like, no, I don't like that. Just tell me what you want me to do, and then you just do it anyway. Johnny and Bao ain't gonna make it at all. Johnny and Jose might make it. So I don't know. Johnny and Jose have been a pretty good couple. They're the second best couple behind Myrla and Gil. And they were completely accidental. But look how that turned out. But hey, those are my thoughts. Myrla and Gil, they leading the race. Everybody else is in dead ass last. Tell me what you think. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. And I'll see y'all on the next episode, man. Hey, peace.